A history of interest. America's enduring fascination with Greenland. Greenland, the world's largest island, has long captivated the United States. America's interest dates back to the 19th century, driven by strategic and resource considerations. Thule Air Base, established in 1951, remains crucial for U.S. defense. Greenland's rare earth minerals are vital for modern technologies. The Frozen Fortress. Greenland's strategic importance in a changing world. Greenland's location, nestled between the Arctic Ocean and the North Atlantic, is of paramount strategic importance. This geographical reality places the island at the crossroads of major powers, including the United States, Russia, and increasingly China. As the Arctic ice continues to melt due to climate change, new shipping routes are opening up, making Greenland an even more attractive prize. The Arctic region is experiencing the effects of climate change at an alarming rate. The melting ice caps are opening up new shipping routes and making the region more accessible. This has led to increased interest in the Arctic from countries all over the world, including China. Greenland's extensive coastline and proximity to these emerging sea lanes make it a prime location for controlling access and projecting power in the Arctic. Greenland's strategic significance is further amplified by its role in global missile defense. Thule Air Base, with its sophisticated radar systems, serves as a critical early warning site for ballistic missile launches, particularly from potential adversaries in the Arctic region. The base's location within the Arctic Circle provides unparalleled coverage and reaction time, making it an indispensable asset for American security. Buried treasures. Greenland's untapped resources and global significance. Beneath Greenland's icy surface lies a treasure trove of natural resources, including rare earth minerals, uranium, and oil reserves. These resources, long locked away by ice and harsh conditions, are becoming increasingly accessible due to climate change, sparking a global scramble for access and control. Rare earth minerals in particular are essential components of modern technologies, from smartphones and electric vehicles to defense systems and renewable energy infrastructure. Greenland's reserves of rare earth minerals are estimated to be among the largest in the world, potentially rivaling those of China, which currently dominates global production. This concentration of vital resources holds the potential to reshape global supply chains and reduce dependence on a single country. The demand for these minerals is only expected to grow in the coming decades, making Greenland a focal point for international trade and investment. However, the extraction of these resources is not without its challenges. Greenland's harsh environment, limited infrastructure, and the potential environmental impact of mining operations pose significant hurdles. Balancing economic development with environmental protection is a key concern for Greenland's government. Section 4. A race to the top international competition heats up in the Arctic. The Arctic is witnessing a surge in geopolitical competition as nations recognize the region's growing strategic and economic importance. Russia, with its vast Arctic coastline and military presence, has made significant investments in its Arctic capabilities, including new icebreakers, military bases, and infrastructure projects. China, though geographically distant, has declared itself a near-Arctic state and is actively pursuing its interests in the region through scientific research, infrastructure investments, and partnerships with Arctic nations. The United States, while lagging behind Russia in terms of Arctic investments, has begun to reassert its presence in the region. Strengthening alliances with Arctic partners, increasing military exercises in the Arctic, and investing in icebreaker capabilities are all part of America's strategy to counter Russian and Chinese influence. The Arctic Council, an intergovernmental forum for Arctic nations, has become an important platform for dialogue and cooperation, but also a stage for geopolitical posturing. Greenland, with its strategic location and resource wealth, finds itself at the center of this geopolitical chessboard. The island's decision-making process regarding the development of its resources and its relationships with external actors will have significant implications for the future of the Arctic. Section 5. Greenlandic Voices. Perspectives from the indigenous population. The debate surrounding Greenland's future is not solely confined to the halls of international diplomacy. For the indigenous Greenlandic people who make up the majority of the island's population, the issue is deeply personal. They are grappling with complex questions about self-determination, cultural preservation, and the balance between economic development and environmental protection. Some Greenlandic communities welcome the potential economic benefits that resource extraction could bring, offering opportunities for jobs, infrastructure development, and improved living standards. Others express concerns about the potential impact on their traditional way of life, the environment, and their cultural heritage. The Greenlandic government has stated its commitment to responsible resource development and environmental protection, emphasizing the need for sustainable practices that benefit the Greenlandic people. Balancing these aspirations with the interests of external actors seeking access to Greenland's resources remains a delicate balancing act. Section 6. Environmental concerns. The Arctic's fragile ecosystem at risk. The Arctic is a fragile environment, highly susceptible to the impacts of climate change and human activity. The melting of sea ice, thawing permafrost, and rising sea levels threaten not only the Arctic ecosystem but also have global consequences. The potential environmental risks associated with resource extraction in Greenland are a major concern for environmental activists and scientists. Mining operations can release harmful pollutants into the air and water, damaging ecosystems and potentially impacting human health. The transportation of resources also poses risks, with the potential for oil spills and other accidents that could have devastating consequences for the pristine Arctic environment. The international community has a responsibility to ensure that any development in the Arctic, including Greenland, is conducted in a sustainable and environmentally responsible manner. This requires stringent environmental regulations, robust enforcement mechanisms, and a commitment to mitigating the impacts of climate change. Section 7. The Future of Greenland. A balancing act between autonomy and global influence. The future of Greenland is inextricably linked to the forces of globalization, climate change, and geopolitical competition. The island faces a critical juncture in its history, balancing its desire for greater autonomy with the opportunities and challenges presented by its growing global significance. Greenland's relationship with Denmark, which currently holds sovereignty over the island, is evolving. Greenland gained self-rule in 2009, giving it control over its domestic affairs, including resource management. However, Denmark retains control over foreign policy and defense. The question of full independence for Greenland is a sensitive issue, with implications for both Greenland and Denmark. As Greenland navigates its future course, it will need to carefully weigh the interests of its people, the potential benefits of resource development, and the imperative of environmental protection. The decisions made in Nuuk, Greenland's capital, will have repercussions far beyond the island's icy shores, shaping the geopolitical landscape of the Arctic and the global race for resources.